So co-production for us in Cornwall is about forming equal and reciprocal relationships between us and the young people that we're buying services for. It's about us looking at what assets there are in the community, what assets young people have got themselves, and building on those things to help them to support themselves in future.
It's about involving young people from the start and really from the heart of things. And it's about not being tokenistic. It's about actually, if you want to come to a project and make a real difference, and this is how you can do it, and this is what you can be involved in.
We're looking at the council tender, commissioning and services for young people. At the moment we're deciding how we're going to look at the different applications and how we're going to sort of rate them and decide which we think is the best or most appropriate for what we need. We're writing just general ideas at the moment, sort of brainstorming, and you can stick them on the sticky wall, which is convenient. Hopefully at the end of that it will come to we'll come to a conclusion about how we're going to look at the different services.
The Young People's Reference Groups are groups that we hold with young people that cover the whole of the county, so right from Penzance right up to Bude. The young people seem to really like Learn to Lead. They love the sticky wall, and I think it's also a way of them being able to express certain information or things that they might want to say.
Co-production is fantastic. It is something everyone should be doing. When you're co-production with young people, they come up with some fantastic ideas. And it is myself as a politician with responsibility for children's services at Cornwall Council, is to listen to those voices and see if we can deliver services that, as I said, young people want. It's very easy for us to sit in a room and come up with ideas, but that's why co-production is important, because we take the voice of the young people and put it into those strategies, those policies and those services.
It is that ability to act and to actually do, not just to be consulted and then other people to do on their behalves, but to actually get involved, that is absolutely key to what Learn to Lead does.
What we have traditionally done through a company called Stay at Home, which is a private company, is delivered health and social care support within communities. And what we recognised was there was a real need for change and about supporting people to be more included. We set up a community interest company, which is Chaos, so that we can deliver those social aims.
I love Learn to Lead. I think we used it a lot with the directors' meetings, which before were quite challenging to get everybody in one place and make decisions on that day. And the immediate engagement it brings to people that we've been told don't engage with other services, like they're on their own Facebook asking people if they've got any spare paint and bringing stuff in from their family members. Like the ownership that they took immediately was amazing.
Because I like Oscar. Because Oscar, stop. Move over, boy. Come on. Because he's a lovely horse. And he'd like me to look after him. And that's it.
It gave us a toolkit that we could use, so we just embraced it, and like Laura said, we put it in our directors meeting so it shared the power. But it's about changing your school of thought and using the Learn to Lead as a complementary tool to the work that you're doing.
When we looked at Learn to Lead, we thought this fits perfectly with the objectives of NCS in terms of supporting the young people to develop their independence, supporting them to develop leadership skills, supporting them to understand how teams work and the team dynamic. And this year, I think there's been a marked improvement in them reaching consensus and a marked development in terms of the young people having a real passion, a real ownership for the projects that they've developed.
It's like we were more about making our mark and leaving a legacy of sorts that we came up with all the ideas and things.
Confidence is yourself, it's to know that actually you've done something and you can actually just do more, and it's not actually such a big deal as you originally thought.
For the past couple of years, we've been working on a project with Cornwall Council called Shaped by Youth. Shaped by Youth is a digital platform
that enables young people to collaborate on projects that interest them. We got involved with Learn to Lead through that project and discovered that they follow a co-production methodology which is really similar to the way that we work already. They've created a sticky wall, which is essentially a place in a workshop setting or in a meeting. People can ask questions, share ideas, and they use these hexagons, which are really simple ways to write down any thoughts or ideas or viewpoints you have around a particular topic. And we thought that was really interesting and, you know, a good way of just enabling everybody in a group, in a team, to have a voice. Working with Learn to Lead, we're looking at how we can put that online. This is great, you know, you're in a workshop setting, but what if they could continue that discussion around a project after the physical meeting? There's some really useful tools that people can use, and that's empowering because it says, here's quite an obvious way of working really. It's common sense, isn't it? If you involve everyone in the process, there's more ownership and there's more buy-in. But ultimately, you know, you give them the tools so that they can go and do it themselves.
Co-production cannot be a quick fix because it involves an exploration in the way that we are used to working, and perhaps the need to readdress that, to perhaps learn how to support without taking over.
It's not something that can be just tokenistic. If it's true co-production, it's really got to run deep and be intrinsic to everything you're doing, and that isn't something that you can just pick up on. That's something that's got to be embedded strategically and got to be embedded at every level of any organisation or project for really true co-production to be effective.
It's a change of heart and mind, and in so doing, it can never happen overnight.
I think one of the things I would say, and I think a lot of councillors know this, when you start talking to young people on an equal basis, you get an awful lot of good ideas. And it's so important to listen to their voice and to take their energy and their enthusiasm. And when they see they're being taken seriously, it builds their confidence and makes them realise that the people who are working in the big grey cement building actually want to do something for their world which has a real impact in the way that they understand.
Learn to Lead takes engagement to a new level, so that from the very young upwards, people have responsibility and ownership to be able to run things for themselves. Learn to Lead teaches young people life skills. It's about coming up with ideas, delivering those ideas, and continuing to help us run that service or that facility. This is why co-production is so important, because the voice of the young people is very important, and by us listening to the young people, come up with these ideas, deliver these ideas, we can actually facilitate services that they want.